Okay, my friends, here it is. The video that is going to change your life in relation to how you eat the things you grow from the garden. So, this much requested video is coming at an ideal time because many of you are starting to harvest so much bounty from the garden, yet you're like, Nate, I'm not entirely sure how to prepare this stuff. Well, rest assured, my friends, eating and food is at the center of my life. The growing of it, the preparing of it, the cooking of it, the consuming of it, everything is like an art form to me. And so in this video, I'm going to invite you into the garden and you are going to see how I prepare this stuff. Now you can do it with any number of garden greens. So just sit back with your notepad and take notes, take mental notes, literal notes, and just get tons of ideas so that you can then adjust it to your particular situation. All right? So without further ado, let us get into it. Okay, my friends, welcome to the garden. We're going to get some of these beets, but first I just want to show you some of this chamomile and this ginger doing really well in half shade. So are these beets. So look, we're going to take some of these bull's blood beets, and the bull's blood is a variety that has a very dark red color all throughout. Even the leaves are red. It doesn't have the biggest beets bulbs, but the greens and the stems are all for juicing and consuming. And so we are going to utilize this one in our recipe. You can utilize any kind of beets that you want. You could also do the same thing with carrots, guys. Now we're going to go over to the greens. We're going to get us some of these collard greens, which are growing totally out of control. And so we're going to get some of the medium-sized collard green leaves, such as this one. And we're going to go over here. Oh, yeah, look at them poblanos. Not ripe yet, but you could use some of those. But for now, we're just going to do the greens. So this is a different kind of collard green, a Vates collard. And then this is a curly kale. And so we're going to take some of this here kale, and we're going to use it as well. And always remember with the greens, the collards and the kales and stuff, that we snip from the bottom, and that encourages them to continue producing luscious growth towards the top. So we're going to take this stuff inside and we're going to wash off the soil from the beets. And then we're going to draw us up a nice cold bath in the sink. And in that bath, we're going to put about 1 cup of the distilled white vinegar. And this is going to be a soaking solution for all of the various leafy greens that we're using. And this helps if you're beyond totally organic like me. There may be some bugs here and there on the produce. And the vinegar solution will help to all of the bugs will release from the leaves. And so just about a cup in the sink, and we're going to let that sit there for about 20 minutes. We're going to agitate it real good so that it's nice and getting up in there, knocking off any of the debris. And in the meantime, we're going to go out and we're going to get some rosemary sprig. If you don't have rosemary, you could use thyme or you could use summer savory, but rosemary is ideal for this. So we're going to put a sprig in the pot, and then we're going to put a pinch of the Himalayan sea salt or whatever kind of sea salt you have available. Always make sure it's real sea salt, not table salt. Never use table salt. Now, the next thing, we're going to cut the beet, but we're going to cut it right here so that all of the leaves and the stalks all stay together. So we're going to cut it like this, that nice vibrant color, so that we have this little paintbrush looking type thing. And you'll see why here in just a little bit. And now we're going to draw up a hot water bath in the sauce pot, and then we're going to put the beet into this. Now, we want to boil the beet for about 30 minutes, but really about 45 to an hour even. So we need to boil the beet until it's fork tender. And in the meantime, we're going to prepare a tzatziki. Now, I'm not going to show you fully how to make that. And let me know if you want to see how I prepare garden tzatziki. After living in Greece for a couple of seasons, I gained some few tips. And so now we're going to steam all of our greens, whatever it is, the collard greens, the kale, the dinosaur kale, the curly kale, all that stuff, mustard greens, Swiss chard, you can do all like this. And we just make it so that they're about a foot long so that they can fit into the steamer. And then we're going to steam them for about 20 minutes. And in that time, we're going to get a fire going. Guys, I love to use some oak. This is red oak that I got. And yes, I'm using the Skull Crusher. Link in the description if you want to get one. It's the most useful tool I've ever had. I've had this one for like 10 years, guys. And it allows you to split these nice chunks of oak or hickory or whatever it is for your smoking and your cooking fires. And this is very important because you see, we've got the charcoal started. And so once the charcoal is sort of ash covered, now we're going to put the blocks of oak onto the charcoal. And this is going to create the flavor and the smoke and some of the intense heat. So let us take stock. Right now at this point, we've got the beets cooking, we've got the greens steaming, and we've got the fire procuring and heating up. Now this is, the timing's very important, okay? So now here we are. We're going to take the cast iron skillet. I'll put a link in the description to this exact one if you want to get it, but this is the game changer, guys. Now we're going to go out and we're going to put the grate over the grill or the fire, whatever you're using, and then we are going to put the huge cast iron skillet right on top like this. And this is the game changer, guys. This allows us to do so much, as you will see. We got a nice, hot, blazing hot fire. Now, while that heats up for about 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to prepare the beet. And so the beet has been boiling for about 45 minutes. And once you can pierce it with a fork like I just did easily, now it is ready. But you want to wait. Give it time, guys. Don't remove it until you can easily pierce it with the fork. That makes all the difference. Set it onto some paper towels or whatever kind of absorbing thing that you have available for you. And then we're going to smash it nice and gently so that and this is why you want to make sure it's cooked thoroughly, because we want to gently smash it like this. And so now we have this bull's blood, appropriately named, flattened root vegetable right here. And so we're going to gently transfer this to a plate without messing it up too bad. And then we're going to brush it with some olive oil, guys. And then we're going to use some of the sea salt. Now, you don't want to complicate it. You don't need to use anything else for this, just olive oil and sea salt. And now we're going to prepare the garden greens. And you'll notice that they are just still nice and green. They're not totally limp and gray and stuff like if you did it too long. Just 15-20 minutes, enough to soften the greens. If it's Swiss chard, you only do it for like 5 minutes. That's it. But all these other ones need some more. So the next step is to take this here sesame oil, and this is a good stuff from Japan. And then we're going to take some of the raw apple cider vinegar with the mother, and we're going to add that in there as well. A couple splashes of each. Then we're going to add some Bragg's or soy sauce if that's what you have. And then a little bit of olive oil. And that's all we're going to put in there, guys. And we're going to coat it all around. We're going to move it with the tongs so that everything is nice and coated. So here we are with our prepared veggies. Now, we are going to go outside where we've had the skillet grill warming up, and it's very hot, as you can see right here. And so we are going to pour in a copious amount of the olive oil, and immediately it starts to boil. That's ideal. So now we're going to apply the beet. We're going to gently slide it in there, and this is why we smash it, because we want all that surface area. Now, during that time, we are just going to take those greens and we are going to throw them right onto the skillet, guys. And that is going to have all kinds of smoke and steam and all the good stuff. And you want it to be this hot. You want it to be super hot. And then it's a fast process, guys. So you only take it maybe a minute. It only takes maybe 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes per side. You flip them once or twice like this. You move them around. You add some of this here solution, some of the marinade that we had them in, so that they can get nice and steamed like this. And here's the key, guys. You want to keep moving them around like this so that they don't scorch, because if they scorch, that's not what you want. You want them to be just like this right here, where they get a little bit of that char. That's what you want, is some of that char. You see, I am periodically adding some of the marinade mixture that we had them soaking in, and that's getting all that steam. You want that to be on there. So now I'm going to transfer them to a hot but not super hot other cast iron, and that's going to be the holding place. It's not going to be cooking them, just keeping them nice and hot. And then we're going to flip the beet, and you can see when we flip the beet how that the sugars in the beet has caramelized, and this is so important. This is what we want. So we are just going to let the beet caramelize like that. And yes, you see the black char? Don't be afraid of that, guys. That's where that flavor is at. And so we are going to remove that and put it onto the warmed holding skillet. All right. Next step is we are going to apply a good amount more of the olive oil, and then immediately we are going to take the hunk of meat. If you are into that, if you have prepared the meat, then now is the time to put it on. And you want the skillet to be nice and hot, because with the steak, guys, you want to get that sear on there, and that sear is what's going to lock in all of that flavor. So if you guys would like a tutorial on steaks, how I like to do it, I could do that for you. Let me know in the comments. We're gonna do, actually I'm gonna put the lid on here, and we're only gonna do about 3 to 4 minutes per side. And then in that time, we're just gonna admire the garden and all the bounty of the earth, the food. And then we're gonna flip the steak like this. And you can see that it's got a nice, like a nice crispy char on the outside, and that's what we want. Guys, when you're cooking steaks like this, you want to baste them. Do not forget to baste them, because it's the basting that is going to keep the flavor in there, and it's going to lock in all of the moisture. Otherwise, your steak will dry out. Now, here's the tip, guys. Use them beet green leaves and sop up the remaining flavor, and we're going to put that right on there. Once the steak is resting and off the skillet, we're just going to take these beet green leaves and we're going to kind of mop up all of that flavor that has been gifted to us from the smoke and from the steak and from the other vegetables that's on there, the char from all of that stuff, that sesame oil, all that stuff is all in there. So we're going to take these beets, and they only take like 1 minute per side. That's about it. They only take just a minute, and then they're going to be nice and ready like this. So here we are about to grub, my friends, because you can see this charred beet like this, the charred greens, that's collard greens, kale, and 2 different kinds of kale and all the good stuff. So here we are inside. It's starting to get a little bit dark, but you can see, look at all that flavor, guys. It is bursting with flavor. That is what you want. Make sure you eat that beet with that homemade tzatziki or whatever kind of type of thing like that you'd like to have. But guys, look at that steak. My friends, it is mouth-watering tender. So there you have it, my friends. If you would like more of this type of cooking videos, let me know in the comments, okay? Because I got tons of different recipes. I mean, I cook everything from scratch every day. So let me know if you want to see more. If you feel like you gained something from the video, give it a thumbs up. Share the video with anyone that needs this knowledge. Share your thoughts in the comments. I will see you every Saturday, 12 noon Eastern time, right here for a live Q&A.